I'm going to just show you a bit of what I'm up to, show you around. This is where I'm at. This is the kind of country I live in, and I bloody love it, to be honest. So this video is called Living in Kuwait. I mean, I don't know why the other 3 million people didn't make it, but here I am making it. So this is what it's like to live in Kuwait. You leave the house and it's quite kind of hot. You get home, it's kind of cold. There's deserts everywhere. When I say there's deserts everywhere, that's probably the stupidest thing I've ever said. There's sand everywhere. The whole place is a desert. The roads are mental. People drive like maniacs. Fuel is cheap. Food is expensive. Buses are cheap. Taxis are whatever. The people are friendly if they like you. And if you're of the right kind of, shall we say, style of person, I don't know, something like that. It's a cool country to live in. You learn a lot. It's eye-opening. And like, would I live here like for more than a week or a month? Yeah. Would I spend my life here? Of course not, but there's nowhere I'd want to spend my entire life.
الحمد لله على سلامتكم. لقد تخلص الطرف حول تعالى في مطار الكويت الدولي حتى توقيت محلي ويشير للساعة 3. Ladies and gentlemen, we are landed at Kuwait International Airport at the local time 3:30 in the evening. Outside temperature 26 centigrade.
When you first arrive to Kuwait airport, you may think that the airport looks slightly tired, a bit dark, a bit dingy, and it's true, to be honest. It's something that hasn't received much investment over the last few years. But you know what, when you get to your hotel, you get to your restaurants, your nice malls and things, they're of a much higher standard and they look a lot nicer, so don't be too put off by that. Coming from a country like the UK, it is a little bit of a culture shock, to be honest, but at the same time, a bit of a shock, but a good shock. Sometimes you step out of the door and you get dust like this. It's about 38 degrees at the moment. So it looks a lot darker today because of all the dust, but it's quite rare to get a day like this, but occasionally you step outside and yeah, it's almost like it's a snowy day, but of course the temperature's still 30. Sometimes you get these big storms where out of nowhere you're going down the beach, you're on a walk, the sun sets, and then boom, there's dust everywhere, can't breathe, can barely even open my eyes. You do get dust, a lot of it, in your face, up your nose, in your eyeballs, down your throat. Good morning, afternoon, evening, little weather update for you in Kuwait. It's not always hot and sunny. Today, in fact, it's rather windy, it's rather cool. It does occasionally get windy. When it gets windy here, it also gets rather sandy because actually Kuwait is basically a desert in that it's surrounded by sand. There's even sand in the streets down here. Weather here isn't perfect today, but I'll tell you what, I'd choose this over England any day, to be quite frank about it. Normally send a Snapchat about now with the word dust about there, then I show the little man with a mask on. I've got people beeping me, I'm not sure why. Okay, so I've just finished work now. I was waiting for the bus, which is the 102, which is going to come from over there. I've just met a friend. Assalamu alaikum. Oh, no, you don't want to see it? You don't want to talk? Okay. ايش اسمك؟ شو اسمك؟ أحمد اسمي مايك سعيد وأنت من مصر؟
بس ما تسوي.
Okay. شكرا. So unfortunately, I was just talking to a couple of guys. One was from Sri Lanka, one was from Egypt. I tried to kind of introduce myself and talk to them, but they didn't want to be filmed. So perhaps another time I'll meet someone who's a bit less camera shy. But it's fairly typical here, like being filmed or having your photo taken of you is quite a uncomfortable or awkward thing. So in a lot of the filming this video, you won't see many people talking. I try and like hide the camera sometimes, which is a bit cheeky, but like it's just not something that you do here. It's very kind of forbidden. Mamnoor. Quite a good learning point really if you are coming to Kuwait. Don't get your phone out and start filming things you first get here, because people will look at you and they won't like it. I don't know anyone else that gets the bus here. I mean, they're not great, and they do occasionally turn over like, in the road, but I mean, they're not that bad. So usually in Kuwait I'd get a taxi. Now taxis from where I live into town, which is about a 20-minute drive, will cost you about 3 or 4 dinars, which is in the UK about £8, £9. I'm going to get a bus which should cost about 250 fils, which is a quarter of a dinar, which is about 50p. I tend to try and get the buses when I can. They're good buses, they don't actually stop to pick you up, that's the problem. So you'll find it comes along, it slows down to about walking speed, maybe 5-10 miles an hour, a little bit less, and then you just hop on. Sometimes you pay, sometimes it's too much hassle, so you just sit down and they don't even want you to. So just approaching the bus stop now, you can see it's basically just like a space under this bridge where people gather. You don't tend to get many Brits or kind of American, Australian kind of people getting the bus for some reason, I don't know why, but it tends to be mostly Indian people or like Sri Lanka workers who get the bus. And I think there might be one coming now actually. There's a load of people getting on, but I'm just kind of like hop off. I'm going to walk now and pretend like I'm filming myself, because people get a bit funny about filming stuff. I'll take you on a little bit of a walk through Fintas. People will probably start looking at me a little bit funny in a minute, but if I keep talking, they shouldn't kind of be too suspicious. Although I'll probably need to stop the camera about now. So if you come shopping in an Arabic supermarket, there's a good chance. Yeah. If you come about now, you'll hear the call to prayer called out, so there is that, which is quite interesting. That's the call to prayer, so like that'll be played out 5 times a day in supermarkets, in the mosques. If you're in the streets you hear it, and you kind of just hear it everywhere. It's kind of projected across the country, across the city, even if you're shopping. Labour is so cheap here in Kuwait that supermarkets can afford to employ about 12 packers per one customer, so they're all there. All these people in grey shirts are there just to put one person's like loaf of bread and milk into a bag for them. If you're at home and your kettle breaks, don't expect to buy a kettle, because you won't find even a kettle in the supermarket, and there's just not even a kettle. I can't even boil water. Little things like that are a bit frustrating. So I'm back now in my apartment. My battery died on the walk back. Didn't find a kettle, which is really annoying because I just want a cup of tea. But on the plus side, in Kuwait you can pick up very good food for not that much. Like I just bought this curry, I haven't opened it yet, let's see what's inside. Oh, it's like a biryani. So it's like a pretty, and there's like all the sauce and stuff, and I hope there's some chicken in there. Can't see much, but picked that up for a KD, a couple of quid. So food here is good, easy to get. You can get all sorts of stuff. I like a curry. It's a Thursday, so Thursday curry. But if you want a kettle, go to Argos. That is really, really good. Hi everyone. At the risk of making you all jealous, I just thought I'd say hi from the Movenpick beach, Kuwait. It's about, what is it, 42? 42 degrees, pretty hot. Probably about to get arrested for having my phone out, but I'll do it subtly. So if you look over here, got some nice trees. It's pretty hot, just had a nice brunch. The pool is over here. We're not allowed in because we're not actually members here yet, but we kind of sneaked in somehow. So yeah, it's all good. Hope it's nice back home, and speak to you all soon. Less than 12 hours later, I'm back now, nice and warm and sunny, and gonna go home now to bed. So yeah, see you all soon. Bye. Don't wanna get home forever. Didn't sign up to you. Not a present for your friends to open. This boy's too young to be singing the blues. So my daily routine consists of coming home, climbing the roof, bringing with me my mat. It's kind of like a yoga exercise type mat, but I love sitting on the floor. And I watch the sun go down, and you can kind of see it's kind of amazing. Got some guys here on quad bikes, so that's kind of cool.